Maddie. Hello, hello. I think I messed up setting up there. I don't know. I must be a bit rusty. It's been a week. I've slept. Okay, let's make... come on. Let's open... Stop! Come on. Oh, technology does not like me today. Here we go. Live chat. I want all the live chat, not just the top chat. Hi, Pelican. Happy New Year. And all that jazz. Ugh, I don't do New Year. I hate... I am the Scrooge of New Year, okay? I'm like humbug. Literally, humbug. It's just another day. Let's... Don't start me on my New Year's rant again, okay? I did one last year if you want to see it. I hate New Year's. It goes against my entire philosophy of if you want to do something, just do it now. So... Hi Brenda, hi Kate, Sue, Marianne. Oh, no, you're Marie-Anne, aren't you? Not Marianne. You're Marie-Anne, like my sister. So, today, first off, you'll have to excuse me, I look and feel like death because I had a horrible migraine for the last 2 days. I haven't had a migraine in, it's got to be 5 years, since I had my rook piercing. Actually, I haven't had a proper full-blown migraine. I've had some optical migraines where my vision's gone a little bit, but I haven't had a full-blown one that knocked me on my ass. And this one came with nausea and everything, so that's been fun. So I'm now in what my fellow sufferers will know as migraine hangover, if you know what I mean. You know, that very delicate time when you feel like death. You don't still have a migraine, but you feel like death and you look like death. And if you're not careful, the migraine will come back tomorrow. So bear with me. Yesterday, I was going to film my bullet journal video for you because there's less chat and interruptions and things when I do it that way. And a lot of people prefer that. But obviously I was lying on my back in a dark room going, oh, don't make too much noise, don't breathe. So that didn't happen. So here we are. Happy New Year. Forced smile. Anyway. I'm going to show you what I'm going to be using for January, okay? Or at least for this week. As you know, with my system, because I use the bullet journal method and because I swap in and out of different books and things, and I always date everything, okay? Always date everything. Courtney Diaz, I'm talking to you. I can switch in and out of whichever planner I want to use at the time. So it doesn't matter that I'm in rings, okay? That itch has been there since November, and in December I decided to go with it and it feels good, so I'm sticking with it for a bit. I have swapped up my system a little bit, more in terms of journaling than planning. So let me do the journaling bit first because that will be the fast bit. So this baby, my absolutely beloved, halfway through now. I'm at page 207, so it's just over halfway through. I love this thing, okay? I really do, but it doesn't work for me in this format. That's why I've swapped to rings, to see if I can get it to work better that way. So far, so good. But I love this thing, and I'm not going to waste it, of course. I'm simply going to move or migrate anything that I still need to out of this into here, which is not a lot. I don't really need to migrate stuff because I action it as I go along. But the rest of it I'm going to use as my written diary. I keep a written diary in my traveller's notebook, which I normally use the 013 inserts for, you know, the super thin, like Tomo River paper type inserts. But I calculated how much it cost me in inserts last year, and I went, ooh, that's a bit expensive. So much as I love my traveller's notebook, I'm going to let it rest for a little while. I've been using it non-stop as a written diary since I bought it, which is 2013. I don't know, when they first started becoming popular, I got mine. Really far back in the depths of, it might even be before 2013, because I had it before I moved into the last house I was in, before the last. I moved into the big house in 2012, and I already had it then. So it must be before that. Anyway, beside the point. I've been using it consistently every single day since I got it. But those 013s, I adore them, but they are so expensive. And even with my tiny writing, I get through at least one a month, if not more. So just for the moment, I'm going to put them aside. I'm going to finish this one, which is 200 pages, well, 197 pages. And then I will decide whether I'm going to go back to my 013s or whether I'm going to get a blank soft cover one of these and put it in my big traveller's notebook. So written diary as per, except that it's in that one now. Journaling. This is where it gets slightly different. Okay. Over the years, I've realised that I love doing creative journaling in my junk journals. I also like to do a bit of written journaling. When I talk about my written diary journal type thing, that's more of a what Miss Vicky B calls a Dear Diary journal. It's for me alone. It's my head, my thoughts, my feelings, what's going on with me, etc. Whereas when I talk about a journal, it's more what's been happening. I hope that makes sense. So my written journal is where I work through stuff, whereas this is where I play. This is my everyday journal. My junk journal is going to continue. I have this one, which is my it's kind of become my junk journal book of shadows, if you like. This is October, November. I've got December. I've got some for January in here. And I've got some later bits back here for Mabon, and I've got a section that's going in here for summer, so I need to do a section in there for spring. And what I plan to do with this is just keep filling it, so when I get to September, October time, I'll come back to here, to this section where it's all witchy and bats and stuff, and there's plenty of pages where I've not finished doing anything. I've got space there to do stuff. I've got an envelope here that I can put stuff in. I could add bits to this. There's always something more you can add to a junk journal. I'm sorry, I didn't realise that was off to the side. Didn't realise she was quite that big. There's always more you can do with this stuff. It's primarily spiritually creative. It's kind of my meditation place where I do things like this. I will write stuff in it, I will paint in it, I will draw in it, I will collage in it, etc, etc. But it's more kind of inspiration and spiritual and Wheel of the Year and, things like that. I love him. He's so cute. I'm scratching the nose of a dog on a picture. That's how I know I love a picture. Anyway, that's that. I will also have at various different times other junk journals that are kind of mini junk journals. So for instance, you've already seen I'm doing junk, I don't know where it is at the moment, I've moved it. I'm doing Junk Journal January with Meg and Mia, or alongside Meg and Mia. It's not part of my challenge, it's their challenge, but I'm doing it. I'm hoping to film at least some of it, and you know, it's supposed to be a kind of an introduction for people to start junk journaling without any pressure and just see what sort of things you can do in a junk journal. Obviously that will be for January. I'm working on my Christmas Chronicles one. I'm finishing it off. I will probably do one for my Midsummer Chronicles class, that kind of thing. But primarily it will be this big black beauty here, because I love working in this thing. So that's creative journaling. Now, I also want to do, obviously, I've got my general journaling that I do in my bullet journal. If I just want to make a few notes about what happened today or whatever, that goes in my bullet journal. But I've got this. Now this is complementary to my spiritual journal here, my spiritual junk journal, but it's more for writing and notes. Because if I put all the writing and notes and research that I do in here, this thing would be 4 times as big within a week. I can't do that. I want to keep this one for playtime. So the idea is, when I find things that I want to write down or research or make a note about, I put them in here. I write up information in here, all that sort of stuff. This is my workbook of shadows, if you like. I've called it that for a few years now. This is my playbook of shadows. I've got a workbook of shadows and a playbook of shadows. There you go. So some of the stuff I do in here might be pieces I tear out of here, or pieces I photocopy from here, or bits that I've written in here that I want to make pretty in here, or whatever, you know. There may be some duplication. I don't care. So in this one, I've got, because these... Oh, now, first off, this was not my idea. This was Cody's idea. She did it first. However, when I realised that an 18-month day to a page Moleskine has not 400 pages, like an expanded, but 600 pages, I went, ooh. See how big my eyes got? 600 pages. Ooh. I needed one, right? Look how chunky and gorgeous this is. Now, this is academic year 2019, July 2019 to end of December this year. So the whole of 2020 plus 6 months of 2019. So this year starts here. And at the beginning you have the 18 months of monthly pages plus a few extra bits, which I'm going to use for like indexing and notes and stuff like that. But look at all this space I have for notes on days that are out of date. I will use, yes, all of it. But will I use both Book of Shadows in class? Yes. But we're going to talk about that. Don't get ahead of yourself on class and think, oh, I need to do that too, or anything like that. Just, I'm going to do a different video for you guys. Kind of. Class doesn't start until tomorrow, okay? Don't worry about class yet. Let's put it that way. Lisa, Edgar Allan Poe. We need to book tickets if you want to go. I'm going to book mine soon, so... yeah, 6 months worth of pages to make notes in. Well, not quite 6 months, because I did start using it a little bit in December, middle of December. So this is going to be for notes, and this is what I'm using for me as my teacher notes for class. See, that's why I said don't get hung up on it. Don't worry about it. So if I need to do, for instance, a sample page or PDF notes or research or anything like that, or if I do something in class that I need to make a note of, for instance, we did in December, we did, when did we do it? End of December sometime. There we go. Witch balls. We did witch balls. I made a witch ball. I added my holly. It's sitting here. I decided what it was going to be for, what was it was going to represent, worked out what I was going to put in it and such, and I made a list of everything that I put in it. And I haven't done it yet. I've been busier in my Christmas holiday than I usually am. It's crazy. I made a list of everything that I put in it. It's a good job I did, because I would have forgotten by now. And I'm going to write in the correspondences so that I can take a photograph of this and just give it to the class for them to have their notes, you see. So it's an easier way of doing it than creating PDFs all the time. It's just a waste of time for me to do that. It's easier to just give you what I've got in my book of shadows. So, yeah, Yule, I put in some ideas that I saw for decorating ideas, some solstice crystals I wasn't aware of. We've got some Capricorn bits, a Yule spread from Witch Alone. Her tarot spreads are amazing. Look, it's a Christmas tree for Yule. Isn't it cool? A Witch Alone on Instagram. She does some really good spreads, and this is for shadow work. So that's what we're doing in tarot next year, is shadow work. So I haven't done this one yet. I figure until everybody decides, right, Christmas is over, back to school, there's still time to do it. And I don't go back to school until the 7th, so you can all wait. These are stickies. Risha very kindly sent me some huge 1-inch sticky dots. But of course, if you've got a hole punch, you could do this yourself. I think I saw somebody do this, and I think it was Key Lime Ink. Hi, Ina. Hi, Ina. Jacob Morley. There. I'm sorry. I'm so easily amused. I think it was Key Lime Ink used sticky dots on the edges of her pages instead of tabs, and I thought, ooh, I like that, because I don't like things sticking out on these because it gets stuck on the pen loop. So I've gone through, and obviously not all the way through yet, but I've put we've got Ostara and Imolc marked already, so that I can see how far away we are. I'm not very good with dates, so being able to get to here and then go, ooh, I can see that. There was only a few days left, you know. That's enough to remind me that I need to schedule that in and do something for it. So, yeah, this is going to be kind of my workbook of shadows for class, but also for bits and pieces that I'm researching or I want to look up or I want to make a note of, and so on. The monthlies, which are No Good to Man or Beast, I'm using for my astrology spreads. So I've gone through astrology for January in my other book, but I haven't put it into here yet. That's why I've got my Hobonichi Jetstream with me, because that seems to be the only pen that's small enough to write in these boxes, even with my writing. So I'm just going to go through the whole year, I think, and put them all in here. I've got the moons in and stuff, and I've got major retrogrades and things written in already, but I haven't done the month by month stuff. I will do. Fortunately, at the moment, I'm pretty sure there's nothing major going on since last night's new moon. So I know some of you are waiting for me to start my pagan planning series, but let me just have a look. Where is it? Mercury goes into Pisces on Monday, and Venus goes into Aries on Friday. So there's not a major amount of stuff happening at the moment. So don't worry, I am going to start my pagan planning series, but there's nothing going on this week. Just take a breath. It's Capricorn season. It's all about planning and goals. Just concentrate on your planning and goals. You'll be fine. By the way, I should have told you when I started this video, I'm waiting for an Amazon delivery for upstairs. He texted me about an hour and a half ago and said it's 7 stops away. And then just before I went live, he texted me again and said it's still 7 stops away. I assume that's because there's a football match going on over the road and he's stuck in traffic. So at some point, the doorbell will go and I'll have to pause briefly. Anyway, yes, I've already put in November, December, just to see what it would look like. And you're probably wondering what these grey squares are, rectangles. Those are dates when I've done a tarot reading. They're not all of my tarot readings. I've got a couple of other dates that I don't remember exactly when it was. I'm going to go back and do those. But yeah, these are tarot readings. So for instance, 12th of December, if I go to 12th of December in here, I will find a tarot reading. 12th of December, here it is, tarot reading, full moon, Gemini, boof. So that's a nice easy way of just keeping a track of tarot and oracle. I may do oracle in a different colour, or I may just do it all together. That was an oracle reading and I did it just in the grey, so I might just put a sticker in. I don't have any other use for these kind of stickers because they don't stick. They come off too easily. So I think what I'll do is just mark in my readings and stuff. I may also use I've got some like this that are stars in different colours that I may use for like rituals and spells and stuff. So it will be a record of what I've done throughout the year. And an index. See? And an index. Now for other stuff that doesn't have an index, other notes and things, I've got important notes at the front here. So these pages where I can write over what's in here because it's really light. I can use this. I've got my retrograde calendar there. And I'm using these pages that have got lines on as my calendar. No. Index. There we go. So I'm just putting the date and what is on it. So 29th of the 11th, winter blend incense. 19th of the 12th, witch balls. 21st of the 12th, Yule decorations and crystals. So I'll be able to see what is in there. And then for the beginning of the book, oh God, I'm shaky today. I've got 2 pages here. I don't envisage that I'm going to need more than that, 2 columns. And these 2, 4, 6, 8 columns for 2020. I mean, I only used about 12 lines last year. But just in case, I've got, for the 6 months, I'll do it from here onwards. So those 2 pages will do for the 6 months that I'm going to use for longer notes. This will probably be, we're using a book this year as a reference, and I will probably make my book notes in here so that they're all together. And then anything else will go in here. Okay, so that's that. BuJo Book of Shadows type notes thing. Oh, that made my head go funny. I really shouldn't have done that. Ooh. Ooh, air pressure. Weird. Alrighty, so that's spiritual stuff. And of course, everybody from the class turns up just as I finish. So just a quick recap. I've talked about my spiritual play Book of Shadows, my junk journal, my work Book of Shadows, which is my whopper 600-page Alice in Wonderland journal, thanks to Cody. Cody Doll is the one who came up with that. Check out her Instagram. And also the ad hoc journals that I will use for hi Boo. The ad hoc journals I use for things like Junk Journal January and whatever else floats your boat at that point. Right, this is my new everyday carry, my bullet journal. Yes, I'm in rings. Will I stay in rings? Do I care? The system is what is important for me. It really doesn't matter where things are as long as I can find it. And I usually date and archive things anyway, so I'm really not bothered. Even now I can find stuff in last year's book that I haven't written in the index because I just know where it is. I know roughly when I did it. In fact, I was clearing out an old Filofax earlier in order to make room for something else. And I was going through like October 2016 and stuff like that, and I was thinking, hang on, I remember this, I know exactly what's on this. So writing things down helps me remember it, and I don't have to have an index to know where things are. This, I get questions about this all the time. This baby is, it's kind of my white unicorn. My black unicorn, which would be my ideal, would be one in black, but they are rare as hen's teeth. Actually, hens have teeth and they're quite scary. So, yeah, this is a vintage Filofax Windsor lock. I have 2 of them, and it's the only Filofax that they have ever produced that has both a clasp and a zip, which makes it perfect for carrying around. I don't like the idea that my pages can get wet if I'm carrying it out and about, but I also don't want to constantly be zipping it up all the time if I'm in the house, but I want it to stay closed. So for me, this is the best of both worlds. I absolutely adore this. It's got a little bit of age damage. It needs some more cream put on it. I'm slowly putting more and more cream on it. You've got to be careful with leather, because if you put too much cream on it all at once, it can bubble. So I've got to... It's slowly coming back to its original self. I just have to keep being nice to it. In here, this is my everyday carry, and this is why. Because it fits my phone. It fits everything I need. Let's see where Amazon Man is. Oh, no update yet. He's watching him to see how long he's going to take. But there's a football match on, so... He was 7 stops away an hour and a half ago. He's probably still 7 stops away. Okay. 23mm rings, and as you can see, this is nowhere near stuffed. I am not a stuffer when it comes to Filofaxes. The whole point of changing to this is because that one was too heavy and too bulky and too much shuffling through trying to find things, because I couldn't move pages about and I couldn't do what I needed it to do. I don't like the fact that I was carrying 6 months worth of notes around that I didn't really need to have on me all the time. Oh, I need to do that bit of the strap as well. I like to be able to move things in and out, which is why I've gone back to the rings, because much as I have a love-hate relationship with rings, I like being able to move things about. It just works for me. So all my cards and things are in here. I don't have a personal page. The reason being that my driver's license is right there, and our UK driver's licenses have our addresses on and everything, so it's not necessary. And I've got a sticky note on the back with my phone number, so if somebody finds this and pulls out my driving license in order to get my information, they'll find the sticky note on the back that says this is my phone number and email. In here I have my ghost post-it notes that I love. I use these a lot, especially where I only have one version of a page, and I have some post-it notes that I use for other people. And these are the stickers that I'm using, my planner stickers, and I've only got the ones that I know I'm going to use in there. Mostly my Moleskine stickers, because I want to use them up, because I've got so many of these. And I need to just use them up so I can get some new ones. I don't know where this fly leaf is from. I think it was Mrs. Bremble's. I think Anna made it for me. But I honestly could not be sure. And if I'm lying, so be it. I have no idea. Unfortunately, whoever made it didn't put their name on. Which makes me think it's Mrs. Bremble's, because she never used to put her name on the back until I said to her, put your name on the back, woman. So the way my bullet journal is set up, I've got three sections. It's nice and thin, look. I've got 3 sections. I have my actual on-the-go bullet journal. At the back, I have reference. it's actually labelled as information, but I suppose it's the same stuff. So this is things like, I haven't got it all filled out yet, so I can show you, because I didn't want to have personal information. So I've got this yellow sheet is going to be for important information. So at the moment it's just got my emergency information for my car in case it breaks down. But it will also have things like next of kin and all that kind of stuff. It's the only coloured sheet in here, and it'll have a tab. So again, whoever picks up this should be able to find that really easily. Then I've got some medical notes, which you probably can't read anyway because it's too small. I've got a personal finance sheet that is an ongoing list of stuff that for my car, because my car is costing me a fortune and I want to keep an eye on that. I've got a sheet in here that's going to be for work expenses. And I've got Peanuts Planner Co., I think. Again, it doesn't say who it's by, but I'm pretty sure this is one of Peanuts Planner Co.'s printables. Free printables, actually, from her Facebook group. This is a bill tracker. So you've got this is your finance routine. So you put on what dates. And I tend to update my bank account every 5 days. Every 5 or 10 days, depending. Because I have stuff that goes out up to the 5th. And then 12th to the 15th. And then 28th to the 31st. So I don't need to do it all the time. But I like to keep on top of it. So the first, obviously, is Patreon income and stuff like that. Working out what I need to pay for work, and then what I've got going out that month, and the stuff that I've got going out from the 1st to the 5th. And then I do an update on the 5th, an update on the 15th, an update on the 20th, and an update on the 30th. And that should be about the right dates to double check that I've got money coming in and enough money going out. When I say updates, it's really just going, yep, that's paid, that's paid, that's paid, that's due next week, that's due next week, that's due next week, transfer money from PayPal. That's pretty much my update routine. And then at the bottom, she has your debt tracker, which I don't have debts. I mean, I have 2 credit cards, but they're not way overdrawn or anything else. I don't have a load of money on them. But I do obviously pay minimum payments on them. Or I have a minimum payment amount, and it's a handy place to put it. And then this is your what day it's due, how much it is, what it is, and January, February, March, April, May, June. And then on the back, you've got July to December. I was going to do it on individual sheets like these, January, February, March, and then I was like, hang on a minute, I can do it on one page. Save the space on my rings. So that cut that down. And then at the back here, I've got an address section, which desperately needs updating, I found out, because Courtney Diaz was still listed in here as Courtney Brooke and had moved twice and got married since the last time I updated her address. So, yeah, I need to update that. At the back here, I've just got a couple of important pieces of information that I need to not lose. One of them is my eye prescription. And I've got a passport Midori book in here. That is, because I like this paper for sketching on. This is just going to be for, doodling, sketching, working out stuff, whatever. Because I can take pages, if I want to do a page this size, I can just take the page out and then I can put it into my junk journal. Oh, and I've got a spare envelope in there because I always have a spare envelope with me. Whenever I don't have an envelope with me, I need an envelope. And then I've got my money spell, which I made, when was this now? June? Was it last year? It was sometime last year, sometime quite early. We did that as part of my Patreon, and that's been sitting in my wallet ever since, and now it's sitting in here because my wallet is in here. So information is stuff that I need to have with me all the time. At the front, I have another section in front of my diary, which is my notes section. And this is going to be basically collections. So in front of my notes tab, I have rough notes, stuff that probably, you know, things like grocery lists and stuff that I'll just write down and throw away. Scribble notes that need to either have something be done with them. I've also got a list here of stuff that I saw on Key Lime Inc.'s Filofax setup, BuJo, that I really liked. And I was looking at how she was setting it up, and it was kind of helping me figure out how I wanted to do it. And then I've got a list of things here that I'm transferring from my other book. Retrogrades is done. That's gone to my blue book. So I can cross that one out. So essentially this is initial captures. And then once I've done something with them, or I need them for reference or something, they'll go into this section, which has a contents page. And as I file them away, I will number them. So the way I'm doing it is this. This sheet on both sides is www.stuff and ats and emails and things. So this is for links and affiliates, and I've labelled I've labelled both sides of the page number 1, because both sides of this are going to be www. And if I have to add in another sheet, I will label that number 1 on both sides as well. So all the number 1s on my contents are www pages, and they're all together at the beginning. Then I've got my timetable, and again, it's a 2-page spread, although I don't have anything on this side, and I tend to just reuse this side because I've got ghost post-it notes on here. This is what I mean by using ghost post-its to fill in pages that I only have 1 of. I've only got 2 of these, so I hoard them. Again, I've labelled that 2 on both sides, so those are page 2s. I've got a page 3 and 4 here. 3 is just an idea that I was working on. 4 is studio notes. Now the idea is that if I do another section of studio notes, I will put that in here and label it number 4. Ha! See why I like moving things around? I don't have to rewrite. There's no threading. I don't have to put on the bottom of here, oh, this goes to page 46 and back here and go find. I don't need to, because I can just slot it in here and add it as a number 4. So I might have 5 pages of number 4. It doesn't matter, they're all together. That works for me. It might not work for you, but it works for me. I've got my nemesis, my list of things to post that I haven't even filled in yet. My adorable little Winnie the Pooh. That's purely decorative. Plan ahead. Many a bear going out on a warm day would never think of bringing a little something with him. That's me. I never go anywhere without a snack. Have a friendly day. When you've been walking in the wind for miles and you suddenly go into somebody's house and he says, hello, Pooh, you're just in time for a little smackerel of something, and you are, then that's what I call a friendly day. Yes, if you've forgotten to go out with a snack, go visit a friend who has snacks. So this effectively is 2 sections of lists and what does he call them? Oh, my brain doesn't work today. Collections. These are permanent collections that don't change, like my medical notes and my next of kin information and all that kind of stuff. And this is just my notes, my brain, whatever I'm doing, blah blah blah. This is my bullet journal rapid log. I do not have, apart from the post-it notes, the ghost post-it notes that I use for writing over things, and the ones that I use for giving to other people because I don't like taking pages out of my Filofax. I don't have any post-its, extra pages, or anything. I have small bits of Tomoe River paper that I'd cut off for another project, purely because, again, these are handy if I want to scribble down a phone number, or if I want to scribble notes when I'm on the phone, because I can't write and talk at the same time. So I have to write it and then rewrite it. So this would be for scratch notes while I was on the phone, and then I'd put it in my bullet journal proper when as soon as I'd finished. This is for like throwaway notes, like grocery lists or whatever, so I can pull it out of my journal. Everything is split. I can pull it out of my journal and I don't have to have my file of facts open when I'm shopping. Simple as that. Everything else will just go in here. But this is the meat and bones, because I'm trying to train myself to rapid log everything. I keep writing things on, oh, I'll just write that on a spare bit of paper. I'll just put that here. I'll just put that there. And then it doesn't work because it doesn't end up in my bullet journal. So from now on, if it's not a collection in and of itself that needs to be up here on a note paper, or if it's not a throwaway note like a grocery list, I don't keep my grocery lists, I don't need to, then it goes in my rapid log. So what I have for next year, let me show you how this is going to work. So I've set up January. This is just here for the beginning of the year, because there is no beginning of the year tab, which is kind of annoying, but also not. On the front page, the yearly thing that came with this was too small for me to read, so this was a blank page, so I already had this printed out and I just cut out the bit and stuck it on. You don't actually get one of these. But I have these tabbed 1 month on 2-page vertical layout. Now, these are in German. I say that again before anybody gets all excited and goes, oh, I need these. These are in German. If that's going to bother you, or you can't read German, don't get them. You might have to, I mean, you could, the only thing that's different about them is, you know, you might have to work out that Februar and März are February and March. But, you know, I think they're close enough mostly that you could work out what they are. Mostly they just leave the Y's off stuff. But obviously the days, because it's Monday, Dienstag, Mittwoch, that's not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as you might be used to. But you could cover that over, I suppose, if you wanted to, because Saturday and Sunday are the same, Monday's the same. It's really only Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday that might be confusing. But the reason I like this is because I can do this. So here's my January, and here's the other side of January, and I can go like that and see my whole month in one go. I love this. I got this idea from a girl who I can't remember the name of, but if you look at Filofax setups on YouTube, she's got a beautiful dark blue fabric type Filofax with little dots, it's like the Saffiano's, but it's got silky dots on it, and it's a personal size, and it's this colour blue. It's beautiful. I didn't write her name down, unfortunately. It was late at night and I wasn't thinking, just didn't notice. If I do find her name, I will put it down below and link you to her, because she's using hers in a different way. But yeah, I can see the whole month at a glance, even while I'm working on my dailies. I've put a list in here. Obviously these are removable again. I've got a list for my monthly tasks, which I will migrate, and my days are just looking like this. I'll show you how I've been using my days in a minute. But this is taking over from having to write the whole list 1 to 30 and then not having enough room to write stuff. With this, I have enough room to write my classes. On the left, I've got my YouTube and live stuff in the middle. And then on the right, I'll put things like anniversaries, birthdays, tax due days, car MOT stuff, appointments, that kind of thing. And this yellow tab is just my daily flag, so I know what line I'm looking at. All set up, ready for the 1st of January. Gosh, that's tomorrow. Hi, Boo. Quiet now. Settle down. So that's what I'm working with. This is how it's been working for December. So you can see I set up December here just on some note paper to see how it would work. It's been working great. So that's my months at a glance. The only thing I didn't like about this setup is that the dates are on the left instead of the right. So I couldn't really, I don't know, there's something about having the dates on the outside that makes it easier to read. But then when I check these, they actually have them on the outside. So that's okay. I'm doing basically 1 page a day. This clip is holding at all my days that are ticked off. So if it's got a block at the bottom, it's completely finished day. So all of those were clipped together with that. I started off on grid paper because you're doing a bullet journal, you start off on grid paper, right? Of course you do. Then you go, oh, I don't like grids. I like dots. I'll move to dots. Well, guess what? I've discovered after using dots for 6 months. I don't like dots either. I like plain paper. So I started off with this graph paper because I had a load of it. But it was annoying me. I couldn't, I don't know, there's something about the way it looks. And it was kind of confusing looking at lined paper next to grid paper. I don't know what it is. It's just, it makes my brain go funny. So I started off with grid paper, just doing a day a page, date at the top, highlight it in grey. What I'd been doing in my previous journal, couple of nice days. It was Maddie's Gotcha Day, 9 years. 9 years, Miss Maddie. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, of course. I wrote my list of Christmas presents I got there. And then I decided, you know what, this grid paper is not doing it for me. I need blank paper. So this is how I'm using it. These are blue grids. The blue is better than the grey, but it's just grid paper in general. I don't like grid paper in general. I would prefer dots, but I also tried dot paper. I took a page out of my moleskin to try the dot paper, and that I couldn't deal with the dots against the lines either. It seems to be for me the combination of pages that I don't like. So I've switched to, this is what I'm now doing. So this is what I'm going to do going forward. I have an absolute ton of this washi tape because everybody who sent me anything this year decided I needed this washi tape. I've got like 4 rolls of it, which is great. I'm not complaining. I like this washi tape. I wish somebody had thought to get me the numbers. But you know, I put Saturday up there. I like the fact that I can see it really easily what day it is. And then I've got my date stamp, my self-inking date stamp, which I don't use anywhere near enough, but I will now, to just stamp the date on there. And the great thing is that because I do it left and then right, if I do it left and right on both sides, this won't bleed through because the washi tape covers the fact that this ink bleeds through the Filofax paper. So that works, actually. I'm pleased with that setup. I've been using it a few days now. I like it. Obviously yesterday was a bit of a write-off, but I've set up Wednesday ready. I like the look of it. I'm excited to go to this and start using it. And of course, because the Filofax paper is so thin, you can actually see quite easily the lines underneath it. So I will actually be able to use the lines and the grids if I need to highlight things. Miss Vicky B! Happy New Year! Bloomin' heck, she caught a live show. Are you having a day off? Are you feeling okay? She must not be working today, crikey. So that's my bullet journal. My bullet journal, basically, same thing. I'm using up my stickers, as I said, and those are proving really handy for marking off things that I want to turn into collections later. So at the moment, I don't have a list of books and podcasts and films that I want to watch, but I do have 2 books, 2 films, various different lists of things. When I get to a few of them, I'll start making a proper list before I archive these. I'm also using various ones for, like, I got my car back, so that was a major event. a present, something that that's just a bit of extra. Oh, the kids are busy at gifts. Oh, excellent. It's nice to see you. We don't see you on here very often. And vegan organizer as well. Hello. Gosh, everybody's coming out of the woodwork today. I used my sparkly stars for Yule. They'll have a bit of sparkle in there. So I'm not overdoing it with the planner stickers, but I do like my planner stickers for picking things out. It makes it easy to see when I need to note something. So for instance, this one is a delivery that I'm waiting for. This is a delivery on Thursday, but I don't have a page for Thursday yet. So that's just still there for now. Actually, I coloured in that page and I shouldn't have, because I've got that delivery still to come, but it's okay, I'll remember. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going to be anywhere on Thursday. I'm just going to be here. I don't have a coffee sticker in my Moleskine ones because I've used them all, so I'm using the champagne sticker for drinks and things for now. I'm just being inventive with it and using what I've got. I have a lot of these long ones, like the old style ones, you know, these. That's what I meant like by that stripe. I just cut off the bit at the bottom on the ones like it happened and what if and stuff like that. I'm never going to use them, so I just cut off the bit of writing and use the red highlight for something. So, and then I'm keeping a list at the front of stickers that I use a lot, and what I plan to do is go on Etsy and find the stickers that will match these, so I can get a sheet full of stickers of ones that I use a lot. Or somebody who designs stickers, or, you know, my one resolution, I have a resolution for this decade, and my one resolution for this decade is to work out how my damn silhouette works so I can make my own stickers. But, you know, if we get to 2029 and I still can't use it, don't be surprised. And if you hear a big crash, that's it going out the window. Yes, planner stickers draw my eyes to things, and I don't put planner stickers on until afterwards. So that's still something I don't do. I don't, unless it's something that I need to highlight. Shush! If it's something I need to highlight, I'd rather put a highlighter sticker on it. If it's something that I need to make sure that I don't forget, I want to put it somewhere. Oh, I've got another film there. Or have I put that on the wrong line? No, I've got two films there. I need to put another film sticker there. Hang on. No, the film sticker. Those are green. I love these Moleskine stickers, but then there's never enough of them. See, I've got no film stickers left on that one. No, I've got no film stickers left on that one either. That's why it doesn't have a film sticker. I've got any film stickers on this one? Oh, film sticker. There we go. That'll do. Now it looks like one's more important than the other, but it's not. There we go. It is weird seeing me in rings. I haven't used rings for a while, but it's an itch that won't go away. And this is an everyday carry bullet journal now, so yes, planner stickers are reminders and stuff that will end up in a collection sometime, but it's not in a collection at the moment. December's will probably end up in a collection when I archive December. So, which brings me on to, you've only got 23mm rings. You're going to have basically 15 pages a month or more because you're using a side a day. What happens when this gets full? Well, this is what happens when this gets full. This baby. This is my pumpkin spice. Lovely Webster's. Is it Webster's? Webster's pages. It's gorgeous. I love it. But I never use it because it's too big. It's hard to carry because it's got 35mm rings, which is great for storage. So what I've done with this one is I've set it up exactly the same way. Except that I've got my page flags in the front for highlighting things that I need to be able to get to. In my This is my diary section. This is April to December, because I don't need to have the full 12 months in my diary at the same time. I've got a notes page that I can use for anything for forward planning. Where did I ink from? But I don't need to have these in there. So I will archive a month at a time. And when I archive January, I'll put April in there. This is also, I've got a 2020. This is what I mean by the 2020 page. See, it's much, much smaller. Mine takes up the whole page. So it's easier to see on mine. So, but this is okay for archiving and stuff. So as I put 1 month out, I'll put another month in. And then this tab, although it says financial, this is basically going to be my notes archive. So anything that I don't need to still keep currently will go into here. But at the moment, it's my note paper. So I've got spare bank account pages, which is why I've only got one in my bullet journal. I figure if you've got 20 lines on each page or 15 lines on each page to fill in, that's a full month's worth of stuff, and I don't buy a thing every day. So I reckon these will last me maybe 3 months at this time of year, because most of my spending happens between sort of September and October, November, setting up for the following year. So yeah, one of these should do me for a couple of months. I've got spare ones of these. I've got some spare note paper that I like but I don't want to use. I will use it for specific things, is what I mean. I've got some spare dashboards if I fancy swapping them out. Gosh, that's an old one. That's my 2 of cups. That's from 2013, 2014. Yeah, that's the last time I used rings. It's like 20, because I've got notes in here from 2016. So I've got 2014, 2016, 2014. I haven't put these in order yet. 2016, 2015, 2018. So I do bounce in and out of rings here and there. December 2017, one book July 2016. That's 2014. So yeah, I bounce in and out of rings. I've never really been successful with them. I used to absolutely love them, but I've always struggled with using a bullet journal. But I think this will work because this is big and chunky. It's great for storage. 35mm rings is fantastic for storage. I've got a set of 30mm rings over there that's got the last 3 years worth of inserts, so I think that should be enough. But it's far too big and heavy to carry around like that. It's just too big in my hands. I would drop it constantly. I can't grip it properly. Whereas this one, 28mm, it's really tiny. So there you go. And then this bit in the middle, this is the crux of this is the heart of the planning thing. I've got to figure out how to stop those two sticking together. They need to be split up. Because that's the only thing. If you have an ollie clip, anything metal sticks to it. So this is my divider, which marks today. I have everything is removable. I'm using at the moment, I won't be eventually, but at the moment, just for these ongoing lists that I need to do, because this is all admin stuff. So I've got stuff that I need to set up for When Frogs Sing 2020 for the whole year. I've got stuff that I need to set up for January. I've got a tick list. I've got my admin stuff that I still need to do. I've got some website stuff to do. And I've got some old stuff to do. And I've also got a YouTube section, which has got a little red sticky on it so that I can find it easily. Those are all just on there so that I can just take this out, go through my lists, mark off what I want to do each day. Yeah. Here we go. Oh, BuJo updates, planner set up for 2020, January. Boom, done. Finished. Next. So it's really easy to just find all my lists because they're all together. I don't normally have this many lists. I would normally just have maximum YouTube, admin, and current class stuff. So I have my list of what I'm doing for class and whether I've uploaded it or whether I've finished it or not. It's just a bunch of tick lists. In my other journal, I had it as a flip up. And for this, I've got hundreds of these to-do lists, which I absolutely hate. But I've got hundreds of them, so I might as well use them, right? And then when I run out of them, I'll find a better way of doing it. And I can just shove that back on there, and that's that. I've got one of those sticker savers. I don't know where I got it. I want to say Mitz sent it to me back in the day, because I know I didn't buy it. Somebody sent it to me, and I think it might have been Mitz. I had a set of them. I can't find the other two, but I put this one on. It fits this envelope perfectly, but I had to punch holes. So I just put it where it would fit and punch the holes, and again, it's cut so that it goes in and out easily. This wallet, it's one of those top-loading wallets, and I've got a couple of bits and pieces of interest in it. So I've got at the moment, I've got a thing to go in my bullet journal, a note from my bullet journal, and I've also got this, which will probably go in my Commonplace book. It was really interesting. 17 Equations That Changed the World by Ian Stewart. And it's got all the important equations. And I thought, there's quite a few on here that I recognise, obviously, but things like the Navier-Stokes equation, I'm not familiar with that, so I want to go and look that one up because I'm a nerd. I don't like maths, but I like theoretical maths. As long as it doesn't involve numbers, I'm good. Yeah, there's all sorts of things in here that's really interesting. Like Schrodinger's equation, I didn't realise that was a mathematical equation. I thought it was just a philosophical theory. And my pen loop, because I know somebody will ask about this, my pen loop. Oh, my pen loop. What I did, I took one of these Leuchtturm pen loops and I cut a slit in my thingy envelope, and then I chopped out the bit. So I cut a notch in it like that, and then I stuck the pen loop through it. So it sits nice and flat. It's stuck on here so it doesn't get caught on anything, but it's also removable. Little bit of genius. I never stick these to anything because I always know that I'm going to want to move them. So that's my second pen because my grey is my highlighter. And then all of my lists go on here with my Ollie clip. These are just current lists. These are trackers. These are what people call trackers. Okay, this is me. None of my trackers are permanent. I will have a proper list of what videos I've done and where and when, but I tend to do that on a spreadsheet. It's easier. But for now, I've got them written on here. And then when I finish a page or I'm finished a whole 2 pages, I'll just whack them onto a spreadsheet and boom, I'm done. These are, because this is a sticker sheet, I thought, well, instead of having to carry that roll of washi tape around with me, which is bulky, right, I'll just stick a week's worth on here, and then every so often I'll refill it when I need it. Seems like a plan. So the way I'm actually using this is, like yesterday was a write-off. We have a category 5 migraine, which is what my note there is. That's my medical alert thing. So that's a medical note that I need to mark off. So that needs to go on my medical list, which is back here. So can actually go on the back there. So date 30th of the 12th. Whoops, can't even remember the date properly. And I'll just write down my list. I'll just transfer what I put in my bullet journal. So I've basically got what it was, category 5 migraine, when it started and when it finished. And then I keep reference I use shorthand for everything. It's basically counts of stuff like meds and things. I use shorthand notes that I know what it means, and then I just mark it off like monkey bars. So I had to take 3 lots of meds because it was a category 5. If I get to 4 lots, I know I need to go to the doctor because I never get to 4. I think I've only ever got to 4 once in my life. The big red flag indicates that everything is moved across to tomorrow. I didn't get anything done yesterday. So ordered meds. I did that this morning, so I've crossed it off rather than writing it on the next page. I've got to finish my webcams 2020 setup today. Just got to add the PDFs and put it live for tomorrow. That's it. I've got an Amazon order I need to do for tomorrow, and then I can just start writing in what I'm going to do today. I know it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but, you know, I thought I'd save it for you guys. So, for instance, what I do first is write in anything I know is going to happen today that could disrupt everything else. So, first off, Amazon. I'll put PV because it's not for me, it's for upstairs. And that could come anytime. I think he may have stopped to watch the football, actually. It's taken him that long to get here. YouTube. YouTube, 3 p.m. And that is BuJo update. Jan 2020. Now, I also have my stuff like that written in here. So, we're on this side now, aren't we? Here we go. Last day of the year. BuJo plan with me. And that's got a thing next to it. So, that's because with these live ones, I download them and I re-upload them to Patreon for anybody who wants to watch them later. They're ad-free on Patreon. So I just put a little tick mark next to it so that I know when I've downloaded it and re-uploaded it and posted it to Patreon, it's done because it's ticked off there. Hi, boo-boo. This is what I meant by using the right-hand side for special notes. Like this one, I put a little diary sticker with an envelope for a last International Posting Day. I've got my mum and dad's anniversary, that side. And then this side, I had, I think, the UK posting date. I'll be glad when I get to these tabs. This one doesn't have a tab and it's kind of annoying. Yeah, UK posting date, end of When Frogs Sing 2019. Yule, and then, you know, Christmas Day, New Year's Day, all that, New Year's Eve, all that, my holiday, Christmas, put up your stockings, Santa's bin. Oh, come on. You know I love my diary stickers. I find them visually appealing. And it's fun. What I'm also doing on, you'll notice some of these pages are quite full up. So some of these pages have journaling on, which is what I mean by not Dear Diary type journaling, as Vicky calls it, you know, where you're sorting out your thoughts and feelings and stuff, you're working through stuff. This is more kind of, oh, today I decided to go and sit in a coffee shop and do some sketching and did this, that, and saw so-and-so, you know, just kind of notes for your day kind of thing. I can't really show you anything because it's all clipped together again now and I'm not moving it again. So there you go. Any questions? Size-wise, I think the most months I'll keep in here is probably, at the moment, 3. I do have 4 in here right now, but that's because I've got December as well. I'll probably keep December in here until everything from December is finished, and then it'll go into the big orange beast, which will just sit on my table here. In fact, it'll sit in my little box under my table because I don't need to access it all the time. I did have this as well in the front. But I decided to take it out because, one, I don't carry money very often. I don't know how people handle a cash system. It drives me insane having money. I usually just chuck this into my parking meter in the car if I need to have money. If I need to pay for the car, almost everywhere here, all our parking meters take cards now, so I don't need to have cash on me at any point. Very occasionally I'll get a tenner out and buy something, and then I'll just have like £6 change in the car, just in case. But I hardly ever use it. It usually goes as tips for the people who clean my car because they nick it. Oh, so yeah, this is far too bulky. Plus, it's really stiff on the rings. This is a Filofax one, I'm pretty sure, but it was really stiff. I had to repunch the rings because it's hard to turn it. So that's not living in here. Plus, I didn't want it to damage my phone, and I'd rather have my phone in here than that. To avoid carrying my planner stickers around with me, because I tend to do my planner sticker bits at night when I do my evening review, because I'm still doing my morning and evening reviews and reflections. Oh, way late. We're about to finish. But that's okay. That means you've got an hour and a half to watch. Because I don't want to carry a ton of stickers around with me. I've just got the ones that I know I'm going to use all the time. I've got my other stickers in here, and I just cut them all down so they fit in this little tin. So I've got my meditation stickers, and I've got ritual stickers, and my dog stickers, and actually I've got some of those dog stickers in there already. I've got some of these heart star stickers. I use those a lot. I love these little diary stickers. They're cute. So as and when I feel like I want to use diary stickers, I'll just pull them out of this tin. That'll just sit on my desk. It probably fits in this thing. Yeah, it fits in there. That'll do fine. So there you go. That's that. You remember when I made the Two of Cups thingy? Yeah, I'm thinking of doing the same. I don't have a laminator, and I don't really want to buy one. But I do have some cold laminating pouches, and I might see if once I've done my tarot card of the year, I might make a dashboard with my tarot card in it, like I did before. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. Everything's in flux at the moment because I'm 2 days out. Oh, I was so organised, and I got hit with a migraine for 2 days. Perfect. Tried personal rings last year. Really like it and still use it for permanent collections. Yeah, it's really handy for collections because you can move things around. And for me, I really love the fact that I can put everything. I don't have to look through here to find what I'm looking for and check 6 different pages. I can just go, oh, timetables are all under number 2. So even if I've got 7 timetables, they'll all be listed as page 2. And they'll all be together. So that'll be nice and easy to find. I don't need to mess about. Plus you can always, like if I have some more for this idea, I can slot some in front and mark it page 3. You know, I really like how I can slot things in front and behind everything. I think this will be a much more efficient system for organising my stuff, because I didn't use my index last year because it just was annoying having to flip through everything to find what you wanted. Even when you checked your index, you still checked 4 or 5 different listings because they were all threaded. And you'd go through one page and go, no, it's not on that page. Where's the next one? 75. Well, oh, no, it's not on that page either. What's the next one? 92. And I can't be doing with that. I just want to be able to flip through it, go to here and go, oh, where is it? Which page is it on? It's all together. I don't have to keep going backwards and forwards. I will remember where my tin is because this is my archive and all my new stuff. So all of my new pages and all of my archived pages will be in here. So this will hold the stuff that I don't need to have in here on the go right now. If you're stuck for something being laminated, you could post it to me. I have some cold laminating pockets, but thank you. I'll remember that. Are you you're UK, aren't you, Marie? Oh yes, you are. Of course, you're up north, just above north from here, right? Yes, because Lisa's south and you're north. That's right, isn't it? I need to do myself a little mind map of where everybody is, so I remember. That's a good idea, actually. I might do that in my other book, because I've got a little UK map in there. Yeah. So this is my everyday carry. Oh, did I mention? I don't know. I've got a... I don't remember if I said this already. Yes, that's what I thought. O. Right? No, A. I always think of it as O. You always think of it as L. Because you go north and I go south. This is just for sketching and stuff, because I like sketching when I'm out and about. But I don't want to carry my journal with me. So that's just sketch paper. And then I can take that out and put it in my junk journal when I get home. If I'm going out watercolour sketching or urban sketching or nature sketching or anything, of course I will take my sketchbook. But I'll probably take this anyway. Because if I'm going out nature sketching, I'm going in the car. And I take the car with me. Willa Mark! Hi Sarah. Guess what? I've just finished. Too late! Sorry. I've just finished. Literally just finished. So that's it. That's my planner lineup that everybody's talking about. Junk journal. Spiritual junk journal. Workbook of shadows. Playbook of shadows. Everyday carry. Archive of my everyday carry, which is my bullet journal. So this is all my bullet journal. This is stuff I need on the go. This is stuff I don't. And oh, well, I've got this one as well. This is my Commonplace Filofax, but this lives on my desk and I just throw stuff in it. But the good thing about being in a Filofax is that I can take like a page from this, like a couple of these little index cards or whatever, and I could put one of those in here, and then I've got a place to put quotes and stuff that I come across, or I can just write them in my bullet journal and transfer them to here at the end of the month. But I want to, the way this is set up, it is specifically set up to make the most of my rapid log. I'm really only using my notes pages for working stuff out and collections. So like this kind of, obviously you know what collections are, but this kind of stuff that I do when I think better in pictures. Yeah, that kind of stuff goes in there. But my rapid log, everything else goes in my rapid log. Because I keep writing on other bits of paper and then it never makes it to my bullet journal. So I'm trying to rectify that. Somebody was asking if I'm going to be using it for class. Obviously, this is my everyday planner. You'll see that a lot until I suddenly decide one day I don't like rings anymore and I move into something else. You'll see this. I will be working in this throughout the year. If you're not on my Patreon or in my class, you probably won't see inside this one very much. You might see the occasional flip, but you're not going to see, and by flip I mean flick, like really fast. Or the occasional page, but I'm not going to photograph this and put it up or anything like that. This is a lot more personal, so I simply wouldn't share it outside of the class. I don't want it publicly out. I did think about setting up another Instagram, but honestly I'd rather have it on Patreon where I know it's fully secure. So if you're in class or you're on Patreon, you can see it, and if you're not, then sorry, but you won't get to see what's in here. My Commonplace book is awesome. It's a Filofax, but it's like the most pimped Filofax you've ever seen. It's like pimped to the max. It's a lot of days of hand sewing, this is. It's a Filofax Fusion. It's even pimped inside, look. Even all this is pimped. I've got some notes. Look at that little doggy. He's so cute. All of this is... I'd sewed fabric under all of this and everything. Oh, I just caught my nail on that and it made me wince. All of this is sewn. I got a spare pocket there and everything. I've got all of my dividers are pimped to the max. I've got all sorts of stuff in here. I love this thing. I just keep throwing things on. I just keep throwing more and more at it, and it just gets bigger and bigger and chunkier, and I love it. It's awesome. I do have previous videos actually on this. If you look up Filofax Commonplace book, I'm pretty sure I have some things of this being pimped. It's Victorian. It's meant to be Victorian style. So it's like a ladies commonplace book type thing. It's nowhere near big enough for the amount of crap I've got in here, but I love it. So, what's a commonplace book? It was started by Samuel Pepys back in the days when he had a diary. He sort of, between him and Ruskin, they kind of made the commonplace book very common. And it kind of went along with a prayer book. So when everybody was very religious, you had a prayer book or a book of days in which you wrote your prayers or thoughts or things like that to God. When being a part of the God Squad became not quite so popular, and in round about Victorian times, it became a little bit more sciencey. So everybody was into science and literature rather than God Squad. Commonplace books became the thing where you would have a small book that you would carry around with you, and originally it was for when you were reading things. So if you were reading stuff and you were caught by a particular quote, or you really liked a particular thought, or you had ideas about a particular, some kind of thoughts on what somebody else had written, then you wrote in your commonplace book about that. Now it's more kind of, oh, I really like that quote. It's like Pinterest in a book. I really like that quote. Oh, I want to research this author. Oh, I want to write down this recipe. I want to, those equations that I found. I mean, where else would you put them? Mary, hi! Mary's back! I just saw your sign up. Nice to see you back, Mary. It's been a while. This thing like this 17 equations. I want to go through it and check that I know which equations are which and which ones I've heard of, and the ones that I haven't heard of I want to look up. Once I've done that and written some notes on the back about everything, it'll go in my commonplace book. Because where else would I put it? So it's kind of a catch-all of interesting stuff that doesn't fit in your planner or journal, I guess, would go in a commonplace book. But originally it was for when you were reading things and you had thoughts on stuff, or you wanted to make notes on quotes or whatever. You're watching on smart TV with no way to chat. Oh, do you not have a phone you can sign into YouTube and chat that way? You can usually do that. Yes, common for well-to-do women to have them back in the day. For all sorts of things, yeah. Even just lettering practice. It was kind of like... it was during that transition between when women were just decorative and had no brains, and when they started to actually have a purpose. And well-to-do women needed to actually show that they had brains. And they weren't just a list of how much money my husband gives me to look after the house and give to the housekeeper, that kind of thing. Another version of a commonplace book is a housekeeper's book, which is, when you've seen sort of, it's more a middle class, working class thing, or not servant class, but servant management, like the housekeepers, literally, or the kitchen manager or whatever, they would have a housekeeper's book, which would be on a little chain on their apron, and they'd keep it in their pocket, and that's where they'd write down expenses, or if they had to reprimand staff, or if any notes they were given by the master and mistress, so and so's coming on Tuesday, air the beds, that kind of stuff. That's where they would write down their ongoing things to do, and that was specifically known as a housekeeper's book at the time. But again, that evolved into a commonplace book as housekeepers became more less servants and more part of the family. So it's a very interesting history to look up, is the history of the commonplace book. But don't do it on Google, because everywhere on Google it'll just tell you nobody really knows where the commonplace book started, which is rubbish. Because anybody who's written that on Google has never read Samuel Pepys' diary, in which he specifically mentions starting a book and talking with other people, and they came up with the idea of a common book in which to place our stuff. If that's not a commonplace book, I don't know what is. So, anyway, I have things to do and I'm losing my voice. I feel a lot better than I did earlier though, so something's working. I think Amazon's got lost. Or he stopped to watch the football match. When Frogs Sing 2020 starts tomorrow, you can still sign up for it anytime you want, right up until when Frogs Sing 2021 starts coming out. When Frogs Sing 2019 will be available as self-study soon, which is just, it's available and you can go and watch it, but the rest of us are not there anymore. We've moved on. But if you like to study on your own, just in your own time, then that's a good option. Or if you're on a tight budget, or if you're like me and don't like to be amongst other people. And if you sign up before the 5th of January, you can still get you can still get Halloween I'll get there in a second. Christmas Chronicles free, which I'm still working on. I'm going to be doing my binding later on today. And the plan for tonight, because we now have a fireworks festival in our city, all the parks are having fireworks go off at the same time at midnight. And guess where I live? Right opposite a park. So the plan for tonight is Metallica. And hope that they can't hear the fireworks, because Maddie will go nuts if she starts hearing fireworks. Do you have a copy of old family recipes? Awesome. Gathered by your aunt in a cookbook. Yeah, that's a kind of commonplace book. Recipe books and things like that, yeah. Because a commonplace book is a collection of things that you're interested in. So even something like a gardener's book, a gardener's diary would be considered something like a commonplace book, because it's whatever you're interested in noted down into a book on a regular basis. So, right, thanks for joining me. The Black Album should sort that out. Yeah, she likes the Black Album. She also likes a bit of Alice Cooper, so I think we'll be all right. I've already warned the neighbours that midnight will be noisy, because it's either that or barking dogs. So, thanks for joining me, guys, and I will see you again soon. Bye.